everybody. My name is Angie Morenga. You're watching Just Angie. It's the relationship series, and my guest, I'm telling you, I'm trying to keep it together. Let me try to read the Bible, but I'm like, I'm starstruck, I'm everything. And if you don't know who my next guest is, you need to check yourself. I'm just reading this Bible. I don't know for who, but my amazing guest. I love this woman. Her name is Wahu Kagwi. But no, it should be Wahu Madenge. Wow.
Hear the story.
Hear the story. She's a singer-songwriter, former fashion model, actress, entrepreneur, mom and wife. That one we know. Yeah. She holds a Bachelor of Arts degree in mathematics, hallelujah, and master's degree in communication from the University of Nairobi. In her music career that started in the year 2000, she has 5 awards, 8 nominations. She's a successful entrepreneur and I think a co-owner of Afro Series Salon, Alternative Concepts, and Gourmet Coffee. She's married to David Madenge, aka Nameless, and is a mother to 3 beautiful daughters. She's all about thinking outside the box, working hard, and smart.
Oh my God.
We need to read the bio. We need to read the bio. Oh, Wahu. They didn't even say the actual awards that you have won. One of the things that I love doing now, you say I've jumped into stories.
I love it. I love it.
Is this love. I enjoyed this love. You should see me. I was behaving like I'm 20. Right here, what's happening? What's going? What's the next series? I'd caught up. I think when I came on, I first watched 3 together. But I think I loved it because it really showed who you are.
Thank you. Thank you.
So well.
Oh, bless.
And before I let you talk about why you did it and all that, for me, my favorite scene, I can't get it out of my mind, is when you're wearing this yellow jacket and he was not your husband then.
No.
But the way even you put your hand on his shoulder and I think you encouraged him. Yeah. And for me, I always feel, why do I feel that that's the biggest picture that I have of you? I think that's who you are. You're an encourager. And I think you've encouraged, I'm not just saying it to puff you up, but I think you've encouraged many people because that scene will never leave my mind. And this man became your husband and I don't know why you even were encouraging him. I don't even know why you were encouraging him, but I know exactly how the video laid it out.
Yeah. I think that was actually, that day was the first day I met him.
Okay.
We had just literally met. So what had happened is I used to do backup vocals for Pete Odera back in the day.
Wow, Pastor Pete now.
Pastor Pete now,
wow.
Yes. So then he was, Pete Odera of, the musician and all that. And I was his backup vocalist. And Mwangi, my husband, well, not my husband then, was coming to support his friend who was performing. His friend is Neto. So that we just met. We met because Neto is a mutual friend. So the friend he was coming to support is a guy I know. So we chit-chatted a little bit, and then he was going on stage with Neto, like his back, that guy was, whoa. All those guys over there. And he was rapping as well. And I remember he was not very sure of himself. And I guess I could relate with that whole thing.
Trying to find yourself, even in this scenario.
Exactly. So, but I honestly thought he was really good. I genuinely thought he was really good. So I just went and told him, you are really, really good.
You tapped him on the shoulder.
I did.
You tapped him behind and he turned.
Yeah.
And I remember that was the beginning of the story, but that's what I remember from this love.
Yeah, so he says, how the story goes now, he says, now I was hitting on him. Come on
I
know. I'm like,
really?
then I've hit on so many people. Exactly. You. I'm like, then I'm just the person who hits on people, because me, I tell people, you're doing well, you're doing good.
You're that encourager.
I mean, I guess I give what even I need. Sometimes you always need someone to encourage you and stuff like that. Yeah, so that was the beginning. That was such a long time ago. My God.
Because you've been married 18 years, so that was before that now, even before.
We dated for, total, being together, we've been together for 25 years.
What?
I
know.
dated
for 7 years?
We dated for 7 years. Is it 7 or 8?
Yes. Oh gosh.
I'm not even sure anymore.
Really?
Yes.
Total 25 years?
Yes.
Wow.
20 Silver Jubilee this year.
Amazing.
Yeah.
First of all, well done for being consistent, because we don't see that in that space.
Thank
and
you.
you could tell even from this love, there were very many dynamics that could have caused problems.
Yeah.
You were winning many awards. There's a time you were doing better than him, then he was doing better than you. I'm sure you won't agree.
Yeah.
But it's okay. I think you even agreed on this love. You know,
Yes.
your career paths were moving even differently.
Right.
You're growing differently. Your skills are different. You're being recognized different. So all those things can cause problems, but they didn't. And that, I think, is just even a miracle.
I mean, I will not say it was easy, for sure, because no one prepares you, no one tells you what to face. I genuinely was not trying to become a musician. I was just a girl doing what she loves to do. I'm very introverted.
Introverted?
Wahu, Ma. Never. Promise.
You larger than life person that comes out of the stage like this.
I am an introvert thing.
You'd rather be alone even?
For inside my house, and someone can think I'm depressed. I'm like, no,
goodness.
I'm very okay.
You're thriving and enjoying yourself here.
That's how I get my energy when I retreat to myself.
I would not have said that about you.
Imagine, for sure. And my husband is the same way. So we were two, like, when we were creatives who met, and we were in campus. So he was studying architecture, studying maths, and we enjoyed to dabble with music, and so that was one of the things we were doing. And we were just us, no one special, no one anything, just two young people dabbling. Those days there was nothing like a superstar. There was nothing. We were just enjoying the vibe, truly. And then, excuse me, one thing leads to another, kidogo kidogo, you release a song, you're like, hiya, you guys have liked that song.
Imagine.
And we release another one, you're like, Allah?
They like that one too.
Exactly. But so you're enjoying the process of creating and also the energy you're getting, because back then in the early 2000s, wow, the energy we were getting. I mean, we still get a lot of love from Kenyans. But back then, because it was new, it was very different. It was, you can't replicate that moment. That was, the FM stations had just started.
Wow.
So there was a lot of demand for Kenyan content, and the people were just, it was a new thing. You can't replicate novelty. So we were not prepared for it and what it would come with, in the sense of other people now wanting to know more about you, to be in your space, to whatever. All of a sudden, other people are finding my boyfriend hot, and I'm like,
wow.
Stop!
Go away, leave him alone.
Yeah, but I can't. Whatever. I'm like, okay.
Oh, you can't. You have to just watch that whole thing.
I'm not like that. I'm not the sort of person for
confrontation.
Oh no. No. So it was not. I'm not gonna say it was seamless. It of course brought its challenges.
Ups and downs.
There was a lot of. Imagine coming from a place where it was just the two of you, and now all of a sudden you're on a platform, and it has its benefits. You're enjoying the process of creating. You're making a little bit of money here and there, and you are not prepared. This was not the path. We were in campus to do something different, but now you're like, there's an opportunity. Like, let's jump on this.
Onto this opportunity.
But it comes with its own social dynamics. So what I can say, long and short, is we had been friends for some time before the fame happened, and the fact that we were friends and are still friends is what has literally been the foundation of our relationship, that we are friends. Like, ata kiumane aje, you're like, but this is my pal. I know who he is, and I know he loves me, and he knows who I am at my core, and he knows I love him. So these are the things we just need to figure out how to go through them.
And then you were saying, because of course now this was just the vibe, you were just enjoying life, then this life this music started producing success. Nobody else, you had not seen that modeled.
No,
there were no models.
Kenya.
There were no models to
emulate,
even in Kenya or this continent, whatever.
Exactly.
So what did you do? Did you talk about things? Did you see this thing is going to happen? How do we now navigate this? Or did you just go with the flow? But I think also, but because you are friends, that was a big thing.
Being friends, and then also now, remember, we are in a place where we're getting other creative energy. We joined Ogopa DJs. So there are other young people who are vibing, and we exchange ideas. What do you think? And we didn't know what we were doing. Was strategizing. You're planning a path based on what are the opportunities right now, what makes sense later. And literally those conversations, when I look back now, we were discussing brand building without knowing we're discussing brand building, communication strategies without knowing we're doing it. And just now you have the words for it, but then you're like, okay, so venye tutafanya ni hivi, unanielewa? And so that helped. Of course, there were times you try something, it doesn't work. And so what you do is you learn, what went wrong there? And how can I avoid that next time? What should I do better? Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And then you've also been able to keep it very humble and very authentic. Because even doing this love takes a lot, because
it does.
You brought out yourselves. I mean, it was very tastefully done. I loved it. But you gave us enough of yourselves to really know that this was authentic, this was real.
Yeah.
So, but even outside, when we watch you, when we follow you on social media and everything, it's very authentic and very real. How have you managed to do that? Was that strategic, or was that something you planned about? We're going to keep it real, keep it simple, keep it authentic, or did it just happen?
You know, me, I'm just me. I'm genuinely just me. I'm somebody who, I enjoy music, I enjoy these other things, but I am who I am. I can't tell you I never planned to be a musician. I never planned all these things. I never said when I was 10 years old, I want to be
this.
No. So it happened upon me, and I don't take it for granted as well. I don't take it for granted. It could have been somebody else. So I think the fact that I also know, I remember a moment several years back, I think when I just released Sweet Love, I did not expect Sweet Love to be as big as it ended up being. In fact, I was not going to release that song. I was not going to release it because I was like, this is so not me. I was doing very girl power, city shiki, hey, we're my girls, hey, women power. Then all of a sudden I give birth, and I'm it's a feeling in my heart and in my soul. And I was thinking, this song is going nowhere. This song is going to tank. So what we're going to do with this song, my big plan was when my daughter turns 18, I'll give her the song. I say, I wrote this song when you were born. So Kina, my husband, were like, are you crazy? And my producer then, RK, they're like, you're mad. You have to release this song. I'm like, no, it's not good. Nah. So I was completely unprepared for what that song did. And I remember we used to live in South B, being in traffic on Uhuru Highway and asking God, you and I both know
that this song is not good.
No, not that this song is not good. That I don't feel like I earned this, what it's doing. There's a reason why. And I literally remember telling God, there must be a reason bigger than, like, this is, I feel like I'm being moved into a space. And I remember asking him, you need to tell me, show me the why. I'm not going to say, I worked hard for it, I did what. No, I wrote a song from my heart. Like writers do. I wrote a song about how I was feeling. And everybody embraced it, and I was not prepared for how the level of which it was embraced. And I sat and I told God, okay, thank you. This is humbling me in the sense that I feel like you did for me like this, like this, like this. Enter there, and I was saying, now you need to tell me why. So it was, I guess that's how my life has been. I always feel there's a reason why things happen the way they do. I am a big believer in purpose. So even our relationship, I remember Angie, kitambo when I came for your class, which was so powerful for me. And I remember you saying that you guys, your mountain is family. And you said entertainment and family, and I was like, I sat with that for some time, and I thought maybe other people are watching and trying to figure out their own journey or getting encouragement, at least. You're like, at least our bado wako.
It's true, and I think the family is important. I don't remember, but the family is so important because That's what you do. I mean, we're interested to see your family. We're interested to see you do your dates. For the date nights, you know, when you go out or dinner or an anniversary, we're watching your daughters growing. You know, it's amazing. I always see like Tumiso is just you. Maybe did I tell you what one day I'll take it to you. I don't know why you're causing. And then you tell us your stories about your cousin. No, you had caused the thing on social media generously. I was like, oh my God, this is so you. Can you just relax? How do you deal with yourself? Deal with yourself. This is it, you know? And your baby is intense. I remember writing the other day on social media, her eyes. She looks like the lion of the tribe of Judah. Like there's so much intensity in her eyes. And I was telling you, I hope you know this is you on steroids now. This one is going to, hey, Wahu. Hey, this one now. And you can tell she has determination. And she only turned one.
She only turned one and she's,
determination
this
like crazy.
Is true.
So Nyakio is the one I'm not figured out completely who she is. Is she nameless? Is she more like him?
Nyakio, I feel interestingly enough, so you feel, I feel, Tumiso is very much, she's more like Mwangi. She's more like my husband.
More like your husband.
Than she is like me. Yeah. And I feel like Nyakio is a lot more like me. Wow. Yeah. Although I do see things of myself in Tumiso, I see it a lot. But I see also Nyakio a lot of me, how she processes things, how, you know, what her strengths are, what her weaknesses are. I see quite a lot more of me in her. But it's interesting. I mean, I look at them and I'm like, wow. But then they're their own people. And our work, we look and say our work is to figure out how do we help them come into their own purpose?
Into their own purpose.
How do we
their own calling.
Exactly? That is my role as their parents. How do I help them to do the thing, empower them to do the thing they were created to do, truly. Yeah.
Wow. And because this is about relationships, because I was looking at relationships and it says the state of being connected, I also love the way that you navigate your other relationships. We can see that so many relationships around you, some have been there for very long, but you've really been able to navigate them well. So maybe you can share with us, how do you do that?
I mean, for me, especially, I say, I have girlfriends I've had for gazillion years. And I keep telling people, man, you need girlfriends. I tell girls, you need girlfriends. You need your friends. You need to, you know your friends. And you know the ones that will stay the long haul, the ones you don't have to show up for, the ones who love you just the way you are and you love them. Doesn't mean it's a perfect relationship, but you know, huyu ananipenda na mimi nampenda, and she'll always show up for me and I'll always do that. And investing in the relationships for me is also very, very big. Like find time to connect, because in life you're gonna need that. You need someone you can go and you have your spouse, your girlfriend, you just go and cry and she'll not judge or anything, and they're your other running mates, can I say that? In life, you support each other. Doesn't mean they know everything or I know everything. It just means they're authentic. They authentically love you. You know,
and you authentically love them.
Exactly, and so you're here to just cheer each other on, cry with each other, laugh with each other, celebrate with each other, and you will know. Sometimes, maybe earlier on, you're trying to figure out who they are, and it comes with time, and you'll know these are my girls, the ones. These are the ones. These are also my girls, but these ones.
These are my ride or die.
Exactly, and in investing in those, finding time to catch up. How are you doing? What's going on with you? Because life can happen. And we've seen it. You get caught up, especially like here where we have children and all that. It's very easy for you to lose touch. So finding intentional time. The way you book a meeting for Jobo.
For Jobo.
Book a date.
With the girls.
With the girls.
So be somebody who's investing in those relationships.
Exactly.
I really like that, because I think we live in a world, and it's getting more so, which is very selfish, which is very self-centered, which is all about me. So I like what you're saying. It's both ways. Like you're investing in them and they're investing in you, and you know it's an authentic. I'm almost saying an authentic. I was going to say an authentic way of relating, that we know that we are more than just girls here. There's something closer here.
Exactly.
But I'm able to pour into it and they're able to pour into it. So that's important. So I think younger people need to know that.
It's hard to pick them out initially to understand, but with time, it sort of comes to you as well.
Yeah, but I think also you have to be that person.
You do.
Yeah, that's what
be the friend, exactly.
Be the friend that you want to be. You also have to be that person. These things don't just happen. No. You also need to be that person.
You have to show up for people. Wow. You have to show up for people. Yeah.
As they show up for you as well. Wow. Yes. What's the one thing you would tell your younger self concerning any kind of relationship?
Oh my word.
Even this journey that you've been on that you'd want people to take home?
What I would tell my younger self is, there's so many things, Angie, guy.
Just choose one or two or three, whatever.
I would say, I think there's relationships with other people. You know, your brothers, sisters, children, and all that. But the relationship with self is highly neglected, highly overlooked. And so important. If anything, I feel like it is the most important relationship that for me, it is the most important, how I relate with myself. What are the stories I'm telling myself? What is Wahu telling Wahu? Am I telling myself how I'm not worth it, how I'm not able to do, how I deserved that failure or whatever? Or am I encouraging myself? Or am I forgiving myself for mistakes? Powerful. Am I learning? Am I working to become a better me? Not like so and so and so and so. Am I learning to am I learning to embrace, to prioritize myself? And people feel sometimes like it's selfish to prioritize. I'm like, absolutely not. No way. You must prioritize you. You must find time to do you, because especially women, we have the weakness sometimes of being there for everybody, doing things. We are givers, and that's part of our nature. But give you, do give, like take care of you. I think is what I want to say. So what I would tell my younger self is, take care of you, Wahu. Take care of you, and trust in yourself more. Love yourself. I had so many I doubted myself so much. My self-esteem was on the floor. My self-esteem. There was a time I had full-blown depression.
I can't believe it. It just sounds like something that's not real.
And all that is because I never saw myself as enough. I was always trying to be more. And I'm like, now later, and I'm like, who are you trying to be more for? Who? You know, why?
Just be you.
Be you, and you're enough. Like, love
That's
on
so
you.
Powerful.
Exactly. And I think for anybody at any point in their life, and that's something I'm also doing for myself, because I don't know how common it is. I know there are stories I've told myself from my youth that were wrong, and I have probably carried them on. There are people I probably needed to forgive in my youth and stuff like that. And you need to invest and know. Don't tuck it in under the table.
Don't hide it.
Look at it. Learn to let go. Learn to let go. Learn to let go of things. You know, whatever letting go looks like, you need to go see a counselor. You need to diarize. You need to talk to that person or whatever it is. Let it go and let your younger self heal so that your older self can be happier and just sit in their space and be okay.
That is so you have no idea how powerful it is. I'm looking at you like, because I don't even know what to say after that, because it's true. Because it's how they say you can't drink from an empty cup, isn't it? Because it has to be you. When you're whole, then you give off wholeness. You give off wellness. You give off that joy. You give off that peace, because you have it.
And nobody
yourself.
tells us that.
Nobody does.
And unfortunately, we grow up probably watching our mothers do. We become our mothers, eh? You see your mother sacrificing everything. And then you feel like that's what I need to do. And then you realize, wow, I'm not happy. I'm not fully, I'm not okay. And you're like, okay with not being okay. And I'm like, no, you need to be happy. Happy is important.
Yes.
Happy, content, peace is important. Yeah? And you need to be intentional. And so for me, even as I prioritize myself, because I know children watch They learn
do.
more from
watching,
see.
from what they see, what is
Utashinda hapa
modeled.
ukiwaambia lakini wewe unafanya.
Yeah, it's what they see.
Exactly. So I'm like, I would desire for my girls, and not in a bad way, but just take care of you. Have a good relationship with yourself.
It's amazing.
Exactly. Have a good relationship with yourself. Yeah.
That's very important.
Love you. You don't have to be number one. You don't have to be the best. You just have to be you.
And you know, that's amazing because it would help other people choose you. I think it makes you make the right choices. Because a lot of the choices that we make are because we don't think we're enough, or we're trying to fill it with something else.
Exactly.
So it would solve so many problems.
Yeah.
And like you said, nobody told us. I remember once I think it was either this year or last year, when I had an event for women, and I felt the Lord just deposit something in me. He told me, you know, the problem with women, please tell them. They choose everybody else. They choose their children, they choose their spouse, they choose their place of work, they choose their industry, they choose everybody.
And they come last.
But the most hurting thing when he made that statement was, and those things don't always choose you back. And that's how you get bitter, angry, resentful women. And I remember even saying once to them, you know, if a young woman walks into the room and immediately you contour your face or your mouth, something is building up in you.
There's something you need to check.
Something in you needs to be checked because
Yeah.
you're already, you're detesting or just
You're
sneering
upset.
or
Yeah.
you're upset by somebody who is younger, beautiful. I mean, they're being born every day. They are more beautiful
And they will
every day,
continue.
every minute, and they will
Even when you're 90.
It is not
Hata
stopping.
ukikufa.
So you gotta deal with it, you know.
It's
but that's the
true.
problem. The problem is now you're choosing other things, choosing other people, but you haven't chosen yourself. That's what you're saying. That's so powerful.
You must choose yourself.
You have to choose yourself.
Yes, you have to choose yourself. You have to choose your sanity and your health
And your peace.
and your peace.
And what do I want?
What do I want? What you want is so valid.
Wow.
You get like
Because we try not to, we say what we want is not valid, but it is, you know. I don't know who taught us that what I want is not a valid thing.
what somebody else, and I think sometimes we even misunderstand what being like a wife is. So it's very easy to prioritize what your husband wants over yourself, and like no,
And over your children.
and exactly, and I'm like no, what do I want? I was created for something too, just like he was, just like my kids are. What is that thing about me that needs to shine?
Yeah.
And how do I let it shine? Not outshine, but
let it shine.
Yeah, let us all shine. Eh?
Yeah. And let it find its space and stay in its lane and let it shine.
Exactly.
I don't even want to add anything after that, but I'm so grateful that you came. I can't wait for what's next.
Yeah.
And like you said, because already it's a flow. You see, you just flow. You usually flow into it.
Yeah.
We shall flow and watch.
Thank you.
And see where it is that this is all going. But we are so proud of you.
Thanks.
I am so incredibly proud of you.
Thank
And you're
you.
amazing girls.
Oh.
They really are amazing.
Thanks so much, and thanks for having
And
me.
your
I've
husband.
enjoyed chatting. You know me,
thank
I watch
you.
your things. I'm
Oh,
there.
I'm so
like,
grateful. That's just really giving me what you watch my shows.
What
that's really
are you?
amazing. But you see, you are enough. I am enough. I am good. I even don't do that thing. Yes, I am good. I'm doing something. There's content I'm releasing out there that's relevant to
Amazing
people. So
content.
I'm really grateful
really
for
good,
that.
very encouraging,
Yeah.
and I love it. In fact, the times I miss your lives, I'm like, what was I thinking? What was I doing?
Yeah.
So keep doing it. We
Thank
are
you.
out here getting so encouraged by
Thank
what
you
you're
so much.
doing.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah.
And you encourage us with your life, so keep doing that.
Asante.
Larger than life. I'm so excited about it. Thank you so much, Wahu.
Asante.
Thank
I've
you.
enjoyed being
I
here.
hope you've enjoyed this relationship series. God bless, guys. Bye-bye.